You want to know what irony looks like? It's a woman in cheap jeans, hair pulled back in a no-nonsense ponytail, backpack at her feet, being told to step aside for a random check by some 20-something security guard at Gray Line checkpoint. Yeah, that happened. The kind of place where the guards act like they're running the gates to Fort Knox, not a border crossing for tired travelers. Everybody was staring, like I was just another face in the crowd, maybe a little more worn down than most, but nothing worth a second look. Until, of course, they found it. That moment, when a cold, calloused hand reached into my bag and fished out a piece of silver. Worn, a little tarnished, but unmistakable. The trident. And just like that, the whole checkpoint went quiet. Radios crackled, jaws dropped, and for one split second, every uniform in the building looked like they'd seen a ghost. Let me back up a sec. My name's Emily Carter. 35. These days, I'm invisible, by choice, mostly. I used to be somebody, at least on paper. My name's still sitting in files so classified most folks don't even know the color of the folders they're kept in. But now I'm just the woman with a backpack, buying her clothes at discount shops, learning how to disappear into crowds, because sometimes surviving means being forgettable. I knew crossing Gray Line was a risk. This checkpoint, man, it's famous for guards who get their kicks from making travelers squirm, for making sure everyone knows exactly who's in charge. Today, I must have looked like the perfect mark, alone, tired, keeping my head down. If you ever think security picks people at random, I've got a bridge to sell you that I'd stood in that line for almost an hour before one of them locked eyes on me and made the call. My heart didn't even skip a beat. I've been trained for worse, believe me. You never move too quick. You never argue. You never give him a reason to escalate. But while I handed over my bag, I was already scanning every exit, every camera, every weapon in arm's reach. Old habits, ones that keep you alive in places where mistake means goodbye forever. Bag on the table, the lead guard barks. I comply. Everything I have left in the world's in there, and not much of it is for show, just what you need when comfort takes a back seat to survival. He starts going through my stuff like he's looking for a jackpot. Traveling alone? He asks. Tourism. I lie, easy as breathing. Nobody needs to know who might be looking for me, or what they'd do if they found me. They rifle through my gear, spare clothes, med kit, a beat-up camping stove. It's all normal enough, but they're not looking for normal. What's this? One asks, holding up my tactical knife like he's auditioning for CSI. Camping tool. I answer flat. He snorts. Pretty serious tool for a tourist. I just smile. There's no point explaining anything to folks who already think they know your story. Around us, a little crowd starts gathering. Other travelers, security folks with nothing better to do. Everyone enjoying a little public humiliation. But they don't know what they're looking at. Nobody in that room would believe that the quiet woman standing there had done things that still haunt the news. Rescued people who were already written off, slipped through shadows that didn't even have names on a map. None of that matters here. The lead guard grins, holding up my knife. Planning a little camping trip or trying to start a revolution? Laughter. Another guard, a woman this time, chimes in with that special brand of mockery only people who've never been scared a day in their lives can manage. You think Boy Scout gear makes you tough? Yeah, I've heard it all before. Drill sergeants, enemies, even supposed allies. Never broke me then. Not about to now. They dig deeper. Paracord, compass, water tabs. Someone's really committed to this outdoor fantasy. The guard laughs, playing to the crowd. I keep my face steady, but inside, old memories flicker. Sand, blood, the cold feel of a rifle, the sound of my own heartbeat in places where nobody gets out clean. I've earned every scar, every lesson, every ounce of distrust. You know what I think. The female guard says, getting close. I think you're one of those military wannabes. Failed out. Now you play soldier. That stings, not because it's true, but because it shows how completely I've disappeared. I meet her stare and say nothing. Nothing to say for yourself? The lead asks. I prefer to listen. I reply, and that gets another round of laughter. Just as I'm starting to think maybe I'll be here all day, The quietest of the guards finds it. A hidden zipper, a compartment I'd sewn myself. His hands are practiced, too practiced for comfort. And then he pulls out the trident. It catches the overhead light, and I swear, it's like the whole world pauses to stare. The joking dies mid-breath. Radios go silent. The air gets thick, electric, like right before a storm. That trident is more than metal. It's 3 years of blood, sweat, and loss packed into a symbol. Suddenly, every face is different. The bravado melts. Jesus, someone whispers. The woman who mocked me is pale, eyes wide. The lead guard's hands tremble. He looks from me to the badge, as if trying to fit the two together. Ma'am, nobody said a seal was crossing today. He's speaking in half whispers now, like he's afraid the badge might explode if he says the wrong word. The crowd shifts from entertained to silent, realization hitting all at once. They'd been humiliating someone who could probably break every bone in the room, but that wasn't the point. It never is. I look at the badge, then at them. Team 7. Call sign Ghost. Those words, barely above a whisper, hang in the air heavier than anything I could have explained. It's funny. Sometimes, the truth isn't about what you say. It's what you can't hide when someone looks close enough. And just like that, everything changes. They start scrambling, talking protocol, needing to verify credentials. I rattle off my serial, some operation names that don't exist outside a redacted world. Their eyes go wider. The supervisor, a veteran with the haunted look only old soldiers wear, steps up, voice steady but respectful. Ma'am, we're going to need to verify. I nod. I know how this goes. Every phone call, every verification is a risk, a breadcrumb for the wrong people to follow. But once the trident's out, there's no going back. The call takes 12 minutes. 12 minutes of silence, of stolen glances, of the older guards giving me a look that says they know what it means to carry stories you can never tell. The result? I'm cleared for passage. No more questions. But the look on the supervisor's face tells me someone higher up just pulled strings to make sure this story dies quietly. As I pack my things, the lead guard, the same guy who made me empty my life on that table, hands back my bag with the trident on top. Not hidden anymore. Ma'am, I want to apologize. We didn't know. I sling my pack over my shoulder the way I've done 1,000 times in 1,000 places. You weren't supposed to know, I say and walk out. The whole room parts. Heads nod. Radios start buzzing about protocol changes. And somewhere behind me, the woman who mocked me mouths sorry. I nod just once. That's enough. When I step outside, it's like I'm leaving one world for another. The story of what happened already starting to swirl through every checkpoint within 100 miles. Some folks say I was carrying state secrets. Some think I was on a secret mission. All they know is a Navy SEAL walked among them. And for a second, the ordinary turned legendary. The real kicker? The guards change after that. The memo goes out. Treat everyone with respect, because you never know. Some rookies start looking at travelers differently, realizing the person in front of them could have done things that don't fit in any box. I disappear like always. No forwarding address, no trail. The only evidence left is a memory, and maybe, for a few, a story that'll keep them from judging too quick next time. You know, people say honor and heroism need applause, but the real ones? They walk quietly, do their job, and let the world believe whatever makes it comfortable. That trident was never about glory. It was a piece of what I lost and what I protected. And that day at Gray Line, it reminded a whole lot of people that the strongest among us rarely ask for recognition. They just hope. Maybe, not to be forgotten for the wrong reasons. So here's my question to you. Have you ever judged someone by how they look, only to realize you missed their whole story? Do you think real strength needs to be proven, or is it enough just to carry it? Comment below if you believe the quietest people often have the deepest stories. Let's talk about what respect, dignity, and true honor really mean. Because maybe the world would be a better place if we all treated strangers like they just might be someone who matters.